Pam Bondi is on the hot seat and the Trump admin wants her out. With her failed proceedings with James Comey, Letitia James, there's reportedly looking at replacements, but not only for her, for another person. Guys, I'm telling you, President Trump and the FBI are fed up. Not enough action has been taken against the people that use lawfare against Trump. The case against Comey and Letitia James has been dismissed by an activist judge. Trump is furious. Now the FBI is actively investigating a lot of things to make sure there's no payouts being paid out. And right now we have not only Pam Bondi, who's looking at being replaced, but Trump's White House chief of staff in the New Year's. This would be a replacement at the beginning of the year where these people would be moved out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I kind of like it because I don't feel like they've done enough. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like it, hit the thumbs up like button because we need action. Not only that, the FBI has dropped a huge bomb on the seditious six with new evidence as they are actively investigating them and have now started the interviews today of each and every one of them for their comments about not doing what Trump has called them to do, but also to defy Trump's orders. There is an all-out war against the activist judges right now, everybody. Again, Elon Musk is now jumping in the mix. And the reason being is because we just had a Minnesota judge overturn a jury's conviction of a Somali immigrant who stole $7.2 million in taxpayer dollars, was found guilty by the jurors, and now this judge has just overturned it. Elon is furious. Guys, this is blowing up all over social media and X. Elon Musk is putting money right now in this to help fight against these activist judges, and it's about dang time. I think that President Trump and the FBI would not be looking for a replacement for Pam Bondi if it didn't merit it. And also, we need more action. We need more people arrested. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This would be a huge New Year's shakeup. Not only Attorney General Pam Bondi, but also White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles are being looked at to be replaced. Huge breaking news in the Trump administration. We also have breaking news that the Biden administration pressured airports to house illegal immigrants despite warnings that it could compromise the safety and put travelers at risk in the airports. The Biden administration directed agencies to find airports and that they could be used as shelters or migrant processing facilities. 11 airports were asked to find space, including Chicago, O'Hare, and JFK in New York. Boom, baby. Not only that, this is, again, I'm bringing the biggest breaking news right now. Pete Hegseth has just announced that the seditious six Democrats they have some that are literally crying in these interviews. Guys, this is insane. When we get them and when we catch them and we arrest them for 100% seditious comments, this is no more playing around. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We're going to bring this over in a moment. I am pumped up today. Put in the people that we need to get the job done, to have a backbone of steel just like President Trump. If you appreciate this, guys, let us know in the comments. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much. If you're not a part of the family yet, hit that subscribe button. Let us take care of you every day with the breaking news. Thank you so much to everybody that supports us in our giving. On the 22nd of every single month, we donate live on stream to a local charity with your support. Show some special love to Elaine Demeen, OG of the channel, PDX67 Richard, OG of the channel, Digging It with Dawn, Madeline West, welcome to the family. Give them some special love in the chat, everybody. What an amazing, we're almost at our Thanksgiving, and I'm just looking forward to everything that's about to happen. If you appreciate all the changes that are about to take place, Pam Bondi replacements, White House Chief of Staff, Trump and Elon and the FBI going against these activist judges, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, big stuff is about to happen. Don't forget our partner chapter. It is open enrollment time right now with Medicare, and do not spend more on your healthcare than you have to. This is a free service that you can call up. They're going to compare all the 5,600 plans out there on Medicare to make sure that you get the right one and you save the most money as possible. Right now, there's literally so much people that have saved money. $2,700 a year, $2,000 a year, $1,400 a year. And again, we've had people on this channel get over $1,000 in additional benefits. Don't waste time. Call them up, 667-895-3015. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. The number's in the description as well at the bottom of the screen. I'm telling you, everybody, we're moving forward. We're about to clean house. We have people that are not moving fast enough, and Trump wants replacements. Listen to this.
Democrat civil war's heating up. They keep saying they have a deep bench and the next generation has heart, but the new recruits are flaming out before they even reach the battlefield. Afton Ben, the blonde Nashville Democrat running for Congress, says she hates Nashville, country music, and bachelorette parties. And now she can't even get through an interview on MSNBC.
In 2020, you made some tweets that have since been deleted.
Ooh.
That were very critical of police.
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points.
So you don't want to clarify.
Okay, guys, and I just want to show you this. Look how much the atmosphere is changing. This is MS Now. Used to be MSNBC. They're not playing anymore because they know that if they start fighting against Trump, Trump will come after them with a lawsuit. No more defamation. This is what we voted for, and they're actually starting to ask the hard questions to this leftist progressive movement.
Whether you still believe that the police should be defunded.
Once again, I don't remember these tweets, but what I'm saying is that.
Oh, then why'd you delete
I'm
them?
asking you if you remember. What is your position today? How's that on this issue?
I mean, once again, I'm here to talk about my race, which is in literally 9 days.
Yeah, they're not doing much better in Texas. Jazzy's not mincing words. Clarence, Alito, Kavanaugh, she's coming for you.
We need ethics reform. We need to expand the court. There's a lot that we need to do with the Supreme Court because of how utterly trash they are.
Not only does Jazzy want to pack the court, she's got her eyes on the Senate.
I am still thinking about running. The only reason that I'm continuing to consider whether or not I do this is because my polling says I can win.
Who's doing her polling? Kamala? Jazzy's linking arms with the other freedom fighter. Be careful, Crockett. The last time Swalwell got this cozy, it made the FBI very nervous.
This morning, I went to one of the largest churches in Los Angeles, and I brought Jasmine Crockett, my colleague, who causes good trouble with me, as my guest. And people are telling me they want a fighter, a protector, but also a get-done approach on lowering prices. And that's, frankly, why I'm running.
Swalwell isn't ready for prime time either. He thinks voting should be as easy as texting.
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian...
Vote by phone?
Vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our, make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online, you should be able to vote by phone.
Oh, yeah. No interference or illegal voting with that, right? Guys, let me tell you this. This is some of the biggest breaking news ever. This is happening today. Why? Because we know there's a fight on our hands. And if we do not have the right people in place that are taking fast action, we will lose. And right now, you have Pam Bondi, who's in the hot seat. You have Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff, on the hot seat to be replaced in the new year. This would be a huge shakeup. But again, Trump knows I can't waste time. I've got to have the right people in there. They got to be able to take action. Let me know who you think would be a great replacement for Pam Bondi and Susie Wiles, because I'm telling you, the FBI is fed up right now with the James Comey and Letitia James indictments being dropped. You're out of here. And this is a part of what makes Trump great, is because he's not afraid to fire people when they're not getting the job done. Nelson Feliciano, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Said Chip Roy replaced Pam Bondi. Hey, we may see it. Show Nelson some love in the chat, as well as our boy Jim Barbato. Let's go. And don't forget to show Milton Burns some love in the chat, everybody. So glad to have y'all here today. This is a big shakeup. And what you're seeing now is that the Democrats are throwing anybody and everybody at the wall to see who sticks. And now we're trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen and who do we need to place to fight what's about to come. a Newsom, potentially AOC ticket, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support.
Travis's prediction, the ticket, Newsom AOC. If he loses, he owes me a new car. Their platform? There is no platform. The Ragin' Cajun says you're not raging hard enough. He says it's time for Democrats to drop the woke and embrace pure economic fury. That means don't offer any plans. Just be mad about the economy. Hochul agrees. She says fight, fight, fight.
I think it's important that, to convey that, as I have to the president, when I disagree, I think you're hurting New Yorkers, I'm going to stand up and fight like hell. Always have, always will.
But the seditious six told our troops to revolt against the president. There's just one problem. Everything they're fighting against is imaginary.
We wanted to start a conversation, and we did, about the dangerous rhetoric this president is using and the threats that he's made to use our military in an unlawful way.
Specifically what?
Well, send troops into Chicago, send troops into polling stations, kill terrorists' families, arrest and execute members of Congress.
We wanted to start a conversation, not a coup. They planted the seeds for a revolution, but these rebels don't have a cause.
Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal.
If Trump has issued any illegal orders and they're telling the military to disobey, that sounds like treason.
Ooh.
These spooks put out a propaganda video, but their handlers never briefed them on the details, so they're bombing the interviews.
Let me tell you this, everybody, and it's getting so bad. They're now coming out and they're trying to backtrack. Some of them are. Senator Elissa Slotkin admits she was not aware of Trump issuing illegal military orders despite posting the videos to her knowledge, okay? So this is them trying to backtrack. Everything, again, it's all about a narrative, trying to control how people think, even not having factual information and just throwing out whatever they can and seeing what sticks. Because right now, with this happening, the FBI has now got involved, scheduling interviews with the 6 lawmakers who encouraged military members to refuse illegal orders. All this stuff is happening. Kash Patel is on it big time. Because again, could you see Kash Patel as the Attorney General? There's so much that's happening right now, guys, and a lot of people are sick and tired of what is taking place, and you have a lot of people that against this right here, that Pam Bondi's not doing enough. Outrage has erupted after a radical judge in Democrat Hennepin County, Minnesota, reversed the conviction of Abi Fattah Yusuf despite stealing $7.2 million from the taxpayers. The jurors found him guilty. The judge overturned it. Judges have too much power, and this is what everybody's fed up over. They want to have not a two-tier justice system, but a true justice system for the American people.
This is just another hoax straight out of the CIA playbook, designed to destabilize the administration and sow distrust within the military. And they couldn't even point out a single illegal order. They had to pluck it from Hollywood.
If you look at popular culture, there's you watch, A Few Good Men. We have plenty of examples since World War II in Vietnam where people were told to follow illegal orders, and they did it, and they were prosecuted for it.
So a former CIA analyst cobbled together a congressional crew of ex-military and told guys with guns to resist because she watched a Tom Cruise movie?
Ooh.
Come on.
It's not a coincidence that all of them have military or national security experience in their background. They were leaning into that experience to try and give a wink and a nod to the 1.3 million active duty service members who serve in our United States Armed Forces.
The seditious six are conditioning the country to think something's bad going to happen at the hand of Trump and telling the military they have an obligation to resist him. And they thought they'd get away with it. Hegseth is launching an investigation into Senator Mark Kelly, who's a retired Navy captain. The Secretary of War could court-martial him. U.S. Code, Title 18, Section 2387, and parts of the Uniform Code of Military Justice prohibit civilian or military acts that encourage troops to disobey or lose loyalty. Pretty straightforward, right?
And I'm telling you, everybody, everything's popping off this morning, guys. Oh my goodness, this is insane. We now have it where, again, these investigations that are started, we want arrest. But when it comes to USAID, this guy on the screen, George Soros, who has been tied to taking funds using taxpayer dollars to fund NGOs, terrorist organizations, to try to cause chaos in the United States. We have newfound news from the FBI reportedly on some new evidence targeting him. Tell me, guys, Kash Patel is kicking butt right now. Could he be the new Attorney General now that Pam Bondi's in the hot seat? Because I'm telling you what, Trump is furious right now over what has happened with losing the Letitia James and losing against James Comey for the indictments that were set against them. He said if we had the right person in there, this wouldn't have happened. You tell me, guys, because I'm telling you, Trump wants arrest. They went after him. They arrested him. They used lawfare against him and made things up. And now he's saying, I want this done in the right way with the right evidence, because this right here cannot happen. We cannot have this dismissal by a federal judge against these people that, again, it wasn't that they didn't break the law. It was that the procedures and how they got these people charged were not valid. Tell me, is the corruption not here? Not only that, Elon Musk is getting involved, guys. Richest man in the world. And I love it because this guy's got enough money to make some big things happen. Elon Musk demands the United States get tough and start impeaching and levying consequences against leftist judges who destroy the public. He said there must be accountability for judges. Again, the same judges who let off a Chicago man with 72 arrests, who literally lit a woman on fire, who now have just overturned a case of this person spending $7.2 million of taxpayer dollars, was found guilty by jurors, now overturned. Everybody's starting to get into the mix of this, guys, and it's only, I'm telling you, getting more and more serious. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Listen to this.
Mike Davis, out of hair and makeup. Looking top of the morning to you, sir. Julie's point about Halligan is missed on, we covered, I think there was combined on CNN and MSNBC yesterday, something like 8 hours of coverage on this very topic. It was never brought up that Halligan's actually been nominated. The fix is in on this, Mike. Give us lay out the battlefield of exactly what's going on as they come after President Trump on this whole effort of de-weaponization, sir.
There is overwhelming evidence that former FBI Director James Comey lied to Congress and obstructed a Senate investigation related to his involvement in Crossfire Hurricane, the biggest scandal in American history, where Obama, Biden, Hillary, and so many other bad actors politicized and weaponized intel agencies and law enforcement to take out their political enemy and to help their political ally, take out Trump and help Hillary in 2016. And this is an ongoing conspiracy. Ted Cruz caught James Comey lying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. This evidence has been out there. The Justice Department is controlled by these deep state actors.
I told you.
Who refuse to hold their own accountable. Instead, they want to go after their political enemies. And that's exactly what happened here. There's overwhelming evidence against James Comey. It's clear cut. And we've seen this because James Comey and his attorneys have filed several motions to try to kick this indictment against him. And then Trump U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan has produced the evidence. She's shown the receipts and the evidence is overwhelming. She's done this 3 different times. And I'd like to ask this, why didn't the prior U.S. attorney bring these charges when the evidence is so overwhelming? He was on a 120-day interim appointment and he was covering up for James Comey, whether it was cowardice or corruption. There is overwhelming evidence against James Comey in this prior.
And I'm telling you, everybody, This is happening right now, okay? These two people, because of what has happened with this, and they said that Trump said that this should never have happened, are now in the hot seat. Pam Bondi to be replaced, Susie Wiles to be replaced in the next coming year. Do you agree with this or not? Do you think Pam Bondi's done enough? Do you think that they've messed up now? Because again, it's hard. It's hard to, once the indictment has been dismissed, try to go through the appeals court to try to prove that it should be pulled back. Let me know, because if we don't prosecute James Comey or Letitia James for their lawfare, it's always going to continue to happen. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. B1 Sly One, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Let's go. Show B1 Sly One some love in the chat. Said getting to off grid the next couple of weeks. Wishing you and your family a blessed chat. Behave. Haha. See y'all soon. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good one. Kathy Brewer, OG of the channel, said MAGA forever. I love my president. We don't deserve him. Let's go. Show Kathy and B1 Sly One some love in the chat.
Acting or interim U.S. attorney on a 120-day appointment refused to bring charges because he was probably a coward. I doubt he was corrupt. He was a coward. And so what do? You get rid of that U.S. attorney who refuses to follow the law. And the attorney general has the absolute statutory power to do this. That's what Attorney General Pam Bondi did by appointing Lindsay Halligan as the new interim U.S. attorney for 120 days. And Lindsay, they pretend like because Lindsay's beautiful, the left and some of these cucks on the right want to pretend like she's dumb. Well, she proved that she's very competent. She brought the evidence. She secured this indictment against James Comey in the Eastern District of Virginia, with this grand jury that's stacked with partisan Democrats in the D.C. suburbs. And this grand jury did not rubber stamp what she did. This grand jury did not bring the more serious perjury charge, but the grand jury brought false statements charges and obstruction charges for what James Comey did. And so what has happened here? You have this Obama chief judge of the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals who hand-selected this Clinton judge in South Carolina to come in, and the fix was clearly in. And the fix was clearly in by reading the first sentence of this Clinton judge's order in both the Comey case, where this Clinton judge dismissed these indictments, along with the case against Big Tish James in New York City, who's very credibly charged of committing lying to financial institutions and committing bank fraud in relation to her Big Tish James lying about this mortgage in Virginia as her second home instead of an investment property to get a better interest rate, right? And so these charges are rock solid. The evidence is overwhelming.
Right
and
there,
you have these Democrat operative judges going out of their way to sabotage this by misreading two different statutes and misreading them in a way that doesn't avoid a constitutional conflict. It creates a constitutional conflict. They're trying to say that the attorney general only gets to have their pick as the interim for 120 days, and that's it. And then the court gets to jump in and appoint their own Democrat operative as the interim U.S. attorney, and there's nothing that the attorney general or the president can do about it. That is a clear violation of the separation of powers. That's a clear violation of Article 2 of the Constitution. If these federal judges who are hand-selected by Democrat senators think they can hand-select the U.S. attorney during Republican administrations and have puppet U.S. attorneys who protect Democrats and then weaponize the Justice Department to go after Republicans. Hell no. This is totally unacceptable. This is corruption by these judges, and it needs to be appealed.
So, all right, everybody. The update is it is being appealed. Bondi to appeal dismissal of Comey and James cases. Regardless, it's still, the evidence is there. It's the procedural. There's two things that are happening. One is that Bondi messed up because, again, if things were fully rock solid, they wouldn't have been dismissed. Okay? And they're saying, well, this is an activist judge. Still, you got to make sure that you're 10 steps ahead of that next person. You're playing 4D chess while they're playing checkers. This didn't happen, and this is why everything is popping off this morning over her replacement of who's going to replace her. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Jim Barbato, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go, brother. And our boy Don Sturgis said, greetings from mid-Michigan. We all support True Life News. We all share your show to X and YouTube on a daily basis. Thank you for all reporting all angles of truth. Thank you so much, brother. Show the Don and Jim Barbato some love in the chat. Guys, this is messed up because, again, what you're about to hear next, we're just trying to do what? Hold people accountable. But the deep state is so deep that it's not looking good for Pam Bondi.
This is a constitutional. Has this ever happened to any other president before? Is President Trump the first one that they've selected to do this, sir?
Here's the problem that when you have we have this tradition called the blue slips, and I hate it. Right, I hate this blue slip process. I tried to get rid of it when I was the chief counsel for nominations on the Judiciary Committee. But these home state senators get to hand select their own district judges. They get to hand select their own U.S. attorneys. And it's outrageous that the president of the United States and his attorney general cannot have their own person to be the chief law enforcement officer in these districts where there is a Democrat senator in the home states. And it's unacceptable. We have to fix it.
Mike Davis, if we are to take down the deep state,
right here, y'all,
it's not going to be a garden party. They're going to throw up every roadblock in the world. And the establishment Republicans don't want in on this. Remember, they were kind of went along with it for decade after decade after decade. The big law firms don't want to touch this because they're kind of complicit. I'm talking about the big conservative firms because they've had guys in and out of administrations. You've seen this forever. This has to, it has to be more of a priority for the Trump administration right now. We've got to get all over it. And I realize the guys at Main Justice are doing what they can do, but he's got to start cracking the whip on the congressional side and banging some heads and say, hey, you have to prioritize this. Right now, it's just lip service or going on Fox or putting out strongly worded letters. We're now in the wet work phase. If we don't get it done over the next 6 months, I mean initiate it to really get momentum on this, it's just going to fade away, and we're going to still have the deep state more empowered. And if the Democrats win the midterms, and if for any reason they steal the 2020 election, people are going to go to prison because they understand now they're not going to make this mistake they made last time, which is not take it to the bitter end. And I mean going to prison, I mean President Trump, the people around President Trump, people are just doing their jobs. They're coming after. So this, to me...
Again, everybody, you think that if this is not a fight? Listen to what Democratic senators are talking about doing of anybody that investigates the seditious six with Mark Milley and all them. Look at what they're spouting out, guys. I'm telling you, it's all a narrative. We're showing you both sides, showing you the facts.
Into Senator Kelly. What is your level of trust in the U.S. military justice system, if it were to get that far, to handle this?
I trust them actually a lot, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, these are professionals. They are also swearing to the Constitution of the United States. They know that there will be fallout and consequences if they are used in a hard way to basically railroad someone like Senator Kelly, because Donald Trump's going to be gone in a couple of years. And if you're part of the military that is going after sitting senators, sitting members of Congress, and part of, the weaponization of government, there will be consequences, without a doubt. So, I think there's going to be a lot of officers that are going to be part of this, potential tribunal, if they want to call it that. They're going to be looking over their shoulders because they know that Donald Trump will be gone and they will not have that protection. They're going to have to do the safest thing possible, which is follow the Constitution of the United States, and you'll be fine.
You hear this? Literally threatening to say, look, I know that right now you got Donald Trump behind you, but guess what? When he's gone, we're coming after you. This is a sitting senator, guys, and this is why, again, add him to the list of the seditious six. We want arrests. We want people. Hey, Matt Gaetz, 12R Honda 05 said, Matt Gaetz, hey, bring them in. Bring in the most toughest person that's going to hold people accountable, because if we do not get these people held accountable, guys, this is going to be tough for us. And I don't know, Pam Bondi, I was iffy with her from the very beginning, But I'm telling you, I feel like something has to change. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up like button. And want to say, guys, again, the corruption is real across the board. That's why, again, when it comes to your Medicare, right now it's open enrollment time for Medicare. We have partnered with a company called Chapter. It's a free service to you. The DOJ is literally going after 3 national health insurance companies and 3 brokers for alleging unlawful kickbacks and discrimination against disabled Americans, okay? This is messed up at the highest level. We have it where in Medicare 2026, there is going to be, right here, 5,600 Medicare Advantage plans nationwide in 2026. So we partner with this company called Chapter. It is a free service to you. They literally talk on your behalf and help you find the best plan possible to make sure that you can save the most money possible or even get additional benefits. We got people getting over $1,000 in additional benefits. Guys, what could be better than to actually be taken care of the right way? So that's why we encourage you to call them at 667-895-3015. The number's in the description. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. We don't need to give any more money to these big companies or these big pharma companies, more health. They've got enough money. You need to keep more of your hard-earned money. And when you can save money or actually get more blessings, more stipends, just by calling with Chapter, that's what we're here for. We're here to serve you, and that's why this service is free, and you will be blessed if you use them. Call them up, 667-895-3015, because I'm telling you, we want to make sure that we partner together to help each other out as much as possible. Listen to this.
The Pentagon's investigation into Mark Kelly, and what do you make of his response that it's just intimidation?
The White House is supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly, and I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out. Senator Mark Kelly well knows the rules of the military and the respect that one must have for the chain of command, and that all lawful orders are presumed to be legal by our service members. You can't have a functioning military if there is disorder and chaos within the ranks, and that's what these Democrat members were encouraging. It's very clear, and not a single one of them, since they've been pressed by the media, and I'll give you guys credit for that, can point to a single illegal order that this administration has given down, because it does not exist. They knew what they were doing in this video, and Senator Mark Kelly and all of them should be held accountable for that. No, because Lindsey Callaghan was legally appointed, and that's the administration's position. I know there was a judge who is clearly trying to shield Letitia James and James Comey from receiving accountability, and that's why they took this unprecedented action to throw away the indictments against these 2 individuals. But the Department of Justice will be appealing very soon, and it is our position that Lindsey Callaghan is extremely qualified for this position, but more importantly, was legally appointed to it. Steve.
Those indictments being thrown out. Is President Zelensky come to the United States this week? Are there a couple of points you mentioned on boxing? A couple of points apart on?
Yeah. So there are no plans at this moment in time. As you know, things can change very quickly around here, so we'll keep you all apprised, but there's no meeting scheduled right now. As for where we are, I spoke with Secretary Rubio at length. I spoke with the president as well. Everybody inside feels optimistic about what happened and transpired yesterday in Geneva. Secretary Rubio, Special Envoy Witkoff, the whole team really worked through the points of that 28-point peace plan that the United States authored with input from both sides, the Russians and the Ukrainians, and ultimately the vast majority of these points have been agreed upon. The Ukrainians have worked on language with us together, and you heard that from their delegation directly yesterday. So we feel as though we're in a very good place. Of course, we have to make sure that all of these points are agreed to, and then of course we're going to have to make sure the other party in this war, the Russians, agree to them as well. But I think the president deserves a great deal of credit for the amount of energy and effort he's put into trying to bring these 2 sides to an end of this war. He wants to see this killing stop. As for any deadlines, he wants to see this end as soon as possible.
This is big, everybody, because again, everything that they're trying to create the narrative, they're trying to make MAGA look bad, but this came from the leading report this morning, and this just shows you, again, When Trump is winning so much, this is why we have to keep the momentum going. And if we have people that are not doing their dang job at the best of their ability over the best of America, replace them. J.D. Vance, from the leading report, has the highest net favorable rating among Americans out of all political leaders. That's big, everybody. With Chuck Schumer being the least popular per RCP. This is nuts. This is, again, people want J.D. Vance as the next president. We've heard people like Ted Cruz throwing their hat in there, Marjorie Taylor Greene throwing their hat in there. But this just shows you right here, people want MAGA to continue, and they believe that Trump is the guy to do it. And right now, guys, again, we are exposing everybody like never before with this whole thing going on with Pam Bondi and everything that's happened with, even still that we're dealing with the previous administration. Listen to this.
Determined to go after Tish James and James Comey? Go ahead. Is the president more determined to go after Tish James and James Comey?
Excuse me. I'm answering a question from you.
You turned and looked at me. I'm sorry.
I turned and looked at you because you're yelling. I will take a question from your colleague, and then I'll take your question.
Ooh.
Okay? Go ahead.
What are exactly the points of disagreement that they are still working on?
I don't want to detail sort of the technical talks that are happening right now, but there are just a couple, and we're confident that we'll be able to work through those.
The president put pressure on Putin or Zelensky if this doesn't work.
The president's been putting a lot of pressure on both leaders for this entire time. We've been talking with both sides. He's been talking to both leaders directly for 10 months now. So yes, you can expect that pressure to continue. The president wants this war to end.
Caroline, is the president more determined now, since the judge's ruling today, to go after James Comey and Tish James, and if so, why?
I wouldn't say he's going after them. I think the president is more determined than ever to see accountability in this country, yes, and to correct the wrongs of the weaponization of our justice system that we saw under the previous administration and Joe Biden.
Are we entering a new phase of Venezuela, and what does that entail?
Well, as the president is so good at, I'll try to be just as good. I'm not going to broadcast any actions that may or may not be happening with respect to Venezuela. I know I've been very clear about the administration's position, as has the president and his national security team. We view the Maduro regime as being illegitimate, and the president has been very satisfied with the successful strikes against narco-terrorists and foreign terrorists that are illegally trafficking drugs towards the United States of America. He's not going to tolerate that, and you can expect to see those strikes continue.
What was President Trump's reaction to those indictments against Comey and James being thrown out?
His reaction was, we've seen this before. We've seen partisan judges take unprecedented steps to try to intervene in accountability before, but we're not going to give up. And I know that the Department of Justice intends to appeal these rulings very soon. If they haven't already, I may have missed it.
Let me tell you this, everybody. It literally blows my mind how you have Trump over here, who literally just had the Ukrainian President Zelensky agree to a peace deal from a U.S. official. Now we just got to get Putin in order, and we're still dealing with the lawfare with the Democrats. Like, you cannot make this stuff up, guys. This is the difference between having a president with a backbone who's actually there versus somebody who's a puppet. The seditious six comes out and is trying to take away the media spotlight from this. This is one of the biggest developments ever. Like, this is winning because, again, stop the killing, stop the wars. But yet, what is everybody focused on? This lawfare. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, this is big, big stuff. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Let me tell you this. When it comes to Mark Milley, the seditious six, to me, this picture tells you everything. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I just copied the same one. 1 second, everybody. This right here tells you everything. Who's that right there? Yeah, that's Alex Soros. Next to Mark Milley. You tell me who's the traitor or what's going on here. Because when you say those seditious comments, guess what? We know where somebody's getting them from, getting the ideas from. Let me know. Because if this right here is not disbanded within Trump's term, and we do not get rid of this, we will see this fight against us through activist judges in the next congressional 2026 and on if we lose the House like never before. And again, what does Trump have us waiting for? I'm telling you, listen to this. A lot of people say we have to get the right people in place.
Contributor Newt Gingrich sounding the alarm in a new Fox News op-ed telling Republicans economic failure means a Democrat takeover in 2026. Joining me now live from Switzerland is the man himself, former House Speaker and Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. Newt, it's great to see you this morning. First, I want to get to everything your wife is doing and the reason you are in Switzerland this morning.
Well, she's the ambassador now and deeply involved in trade negotiations and other issues and serving the president and the country, and we're very honored. This is her second time. She was the ambassador to the Vatican 4 years ago, so it's a great experience, and the Swiss have been very, very positive and very much want to have a good relationship with the United States. So Callista's got a lot of work to do, but it's in a very friendly environment.
That is wonderful. Congratulations and best wishes to Ambassador Gingrich. Thank you for that. I want to get your take on everything else in terms of affordability. What's your take on how the Republicans can message that this is actually a priority?
Well, I think that there's a real challenge here. And Republicans, as I said in my articles, Republicans need to understand that if we have not gotten a dramatically better economy by next July, we have a big, big problem, which could lead to the kind of results that they had in 2018, which could lead to the Democrats suddenly trying to impeach Trump, trying to do everything they can to stop the momentum. So there's a tremendous amount riding on the economy, which is why I so strongly advocated getting the one big beautiful bill done. There are a lot of good things coming down the road, but I would give you an example. The biggest single thing you could do for affordability is pass transparency in health. Health is, the average family today, a family of four, is paying about $26,000 a year for health insurance. They're buying a small car every year. That's crazy.
Ain't that the truth?
And it's going up. And the real issue here is not the fight that we've had in Congress over the COVID-related subsidies. The real issue is how do you get the health system back on track to being affordable? Experts I talk with believe if we had transparency in health costs, we would probably take about 4% of the gross domestic product out of the system. That is a huge amount, which would help us balance the budget, but it would help families. You bring down that $25,000 or $26,000 a year and get it down to 20, you just saved them $6,000 a year with that one step. So I think there are things that have to be done. We have to focus on affordability, but it's more than groceries and it's more than gasoline. It's health insurance, it is car insurance, it's home insurance, it's the cost of housing. These are embedded problems, and it's not going to work next year to blame Biden.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this, everybody, because this is right. And this is a very, very rare occurrence, everybody, where RNC Research, this is on the Republican National Committee side, okay, is posting that we've got the media that is kind of asking some hard questions of those on the left. We need to own this momentum. If we do not own this momentum of having the left ask hard questions to the Democrats, just like what you're about to see here, and us getting the economy back on track, we need to nuke the filibuster. We need to set laws in place, codify Trump's executive orders, make sure that we bring the economy to a booming place like never before. We will lose these easy wins. Because listen to this. It is very rare that you will ever hear what you're about to hear coming from CNN towards a Democrat.
I want to ask you about Democratic Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett. Last week, as you know, there was a failed censure effort over her text with Epstein during an oversight hearing in 2019. He was a known sex offender. She acknowledged Epstein's influence in her line of questioning during that hearing on this show when we had her on, but would not say it was an error in judgment. Here's how you defended her on the House floor last week so our viewers can listen.
However ill-advised it may have been, she took a phone call from one of her constituents. They've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing. And of course, I don't think there's any rule here against taking phone calls in a hearing.
And to be clear, she initiated the text chain on that day. But are Democrats losing the moral high ground on the Epstein issue by defending her as you have?
Right there, y'all. Well, did you just hear her 100% call him out? This never happens. If we don't take this momentum and run with it with the Republican GOP and with the MAGA party, this is a wasted opportunity.
Look, we've been demanding a complete release of the file, and now they wanted to discipline her, censure her, because she'd engaged in that text exchange with a convicted...
He don't even know what to say, y'all. And I'm telling you, this is, again, going back to what Gingrich is saying. We have to win this midterms. We lose the midterms, everything could have been for naught, because if they impeach Trump, if we can't get anything passed, then it would have been a waste.
President Trump's too strong a personality.
It's a great points all around, Newt. But I mean, what are you expecting this White House announcement with regard to these costs coming down to be? I mean, do you expect that this will be all encompassing with, like you say, health insurance, car insurance, et cetera?
Well, I don't know if in round one they're going to try to do everything, because I think the president has a strong desire to not have the government shut again.
Right.
So he's going to look for some kind of first step. But it's also notable that House Republicans, most of them, don't want to just throw money away, and they do want to have real reforms. So I think this conversation is going to go on for a couple of weeks, and I don't think it's quite knowable yet what the final package will be like. Okay. I hope it'll be much deeper reforms than just trying to buy off the Democrats with a bandage for a year or two.
I'm telling you, everybody, and what I love too is, again, it's all right now, all hands on deck, affordability, big time. I have to show you this, guys, because this is just hilarious. What's just been said by President Trump. He's hilarious. Okay, he just is. Whether you like him or not, he is. Listen to this.
The turkeys being pardoned today go by the names of Gobble and Waddle. When I first saw their pictures, I thought we should send them, well, I shouldn't say this. I was going to call them Chuck and Nancy. But then I realized I wouldn't be pardoning them. I would never pardon those two people. I wouldn't pardon them. I wouldn't care what Melania told me. Darling, I think it would be a nice thing to do. I won't do it, darling.
He almost named the turkeys Chuck and Nancy. I'm telling you, hilarious. But hey, you got to pardon the turkeys, man. But this is the big fight now, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because, again, there's some more stuff coming up today over what Trump is doing to, again, lower energy costs, lower gas prices, put more money into taxpayers' pockets.
To affordability, the White House says Republican policies are working, and the proof is in the numbers.
We have slowed inflation, and we are working very hard to bring it down. Kristen, I can tell you that the Council on Economic Advisors has a study. You know the best way to bring your inflation rate down? Move from a blue state to a red state. Blue state inflation is 0.5% higher, and that is because they don't deregulate, they keep prices up, energy is higher.
The secretary adding that he's very optimistic for next year, saying the administration has set the table for a strong growth economy with no risk of recession. All right, Marcus, you always love a good debate. The secretary is laying out a strong story for 2026. Are you feeling it?
Well, the likelihood of a recession is lower, not gone completely. Food prices are higher, housing prices are higher, energy's lower. So when he talks about blue state, red state, I'd have to imagine that the blue state prices of gas in California are skewing that a little bit. But food and housing, the two most important things, are higher.
Jackie, what do you think?
Crude oil was back below 60 today, which I thought was pretty significant. And you are seeing those gas prices translate. So this comes to me back to sort of a tale of two stories for the president, the things that he's been able to work on and the things that he hasn't necessarily been able to tackle. And the reason I bring that up is because that's your baseline. Then you get to this blue state conundrum, I'll call it, and all of the extra, red tape that they add to things to make it more expensive. The problem is, I think most people would live in a place that was friendlier to their pocketbook. Just not everybody necessarily can for a lot of different reasons. So many people are stuck in states where they don't necessarily want to be, and they've got to, pay for stuff that they don't agree with.
Right.
I wish we could get to a better place with that, but I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think it's just going to become more and more frustrating as all of this becomes more and more polarized. And then I think you're going to see people get to the point where they start to say, okay, well, I thought I couldn't leave, but I've really got to think out of the box about my life, my situation, my job potentially, what I'm doing here, because it's going to become, if you took Mamdani's vision and sort of drew it out.
Nationalized it or took it over time?
Just here.
Okay.
Take it out over time. If he got to do all the things that he wanted to do on his wish list, it would become unlivable here.
Do you, that's interesting. And we had
And again, everybody, I bring receipts. Stuff that's happening right now, you cannot make this stuff up. What the Biden administration did to try and it's in a sense caused so much chaos within the United States is asinine. San W, welcome to the family. Let's go. Show San W some love in the chat. Listen to this.
Biden administration allegedly pressured airports to house migrants despite warnings it could compromise safety and put travelers at risk. That, according to a new bombshell Senate report that says the Biden administration directed federal agencies to find airport facilities that could be used as shelters or migrant processing facilities. At least 11 airports were allegedly asked to find space, including Chicago's O'Hare and JFK here in New York.
They literally, this is insane, guys, that the Biden administration was trying to force airports to house migrants to try to bring more people in. Guys, if you appreciate this breaking news, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. It is, again, when we talk about affordability, we talk about accelerating the economy, we always have to remember with context what we just came from of a 30 million people invasion within 4 years into our country, which has caused everything to increase exponentially.
Mamdani Trump meeting in the Oval Office. Dagan, I wonder if do you think the president's pulling Mamdani, is going to pull Mamdani his way, or to kind of go to what Jackie's saying, do you feel like Mamdani's success is kind of threatening to pull President Trump his direction just a little bit?
Neither one of them are going anywhere. They're stuck. President Trump likes winners, and the guy won.
Yep.
And he mentioned it in the Oval Office last Friday. He's like, I was watching your numbers in the run-up, in the primary, where you were like, oh, you have single digits, and then he's come.
He went right through the numbers, yep.
He was paying attention to the guy because he came out of nowhere, and he's now the mayor of New York City. Now he's got to govern. And President Trump will be the first to lambast the guy when he starts sucking wind. And if he sticks to these policies, he didn't go deep blue. He went red like communist. Not President Trump, but Mamdani. So if he starts sucking wind, President Trump will be with the biggest microphone in the nation, will be the first person to lambast him. I understand, and Jason Chaffetz mentioned this last week, that because I was doing the numbers, and consumer prices were up roughly 21% under Joe Biden over 4 years. They're up 1.6% so far under President Trump. But the administration needs to be careful crowing about things that do not resonate with people who are upset about prices. And the press secretary talking about the lowest gas prices in years over Thanksgiving. Well, they're looking at Thanksgiving gas prices.
That's right.
But gas prices are up from a year ago. The national average for a gallon of regular unleaded right now is $3 and almost 7 cents a gallon. 1 year ago, it was $3.05. So if you keep saying, don't say things that aren't true. People know that. If you're filling up, you know if gas is down a lot. So they ought to be just, you can talk about how awesome the economy is and talk about what.
You know what I love, everybody? Don't think that we don't fact check everybody on this dang channel. Look at this, everybody. I just fact checked her in real time because I feel like, no, this isn't right. Because I've looked at this stuff before. I said, is gas prices lower or higher now than they were a year ago? This is asking the AI. November 25th, 2024, $3.25 a gallon nationwide for regular. Now it's $3.07 a gallon. Averaged by AAA weekly average. Aligns with the EIA trends. Boom, baby. Don't tell me we don't bring it on this channel, guys. And what's going to be even better is that now that we have Kevin Haskett is now President Trump's top choice to replace Jerome Powell as the Federal Reserve Chair, ready to start slashing all types of interest rates so that people can buy more homes, do business loans, things like that to grow the economy. Matrox, I'm telling you, brother, look, we show everybody. I've shown CNN, MSNBC, Fox on today's show. We show everybody, but I fact-checked everybody as well. I did want to show you this too, guys, because I'm telling you, this is probably one of the biggest things that I cannot even believe I'm showing you. This is a school in North Carolina that is protesting right now where hundreds of students in this high school have walked out with Mexico flags saying ICE is horrible, this, and that. This is what our tax dollars are paying for, indoctrination, and this is in North Carolina, everybody. This don't make no dang sense. You can see the Mexico flags right there on the right. This is insane. This is what the Democrats want. This is what they're trying to fight for, is trying to break down, especially the next generation of thinkers, and that's why we got to hold them accountable, okay? This is insane. And again, I show you all the facts. This is, look, southern border, okay? This is a chart from the U.S. Custom and Border Protection. The monthly illegal southern border crossings. Isn't it so insane how in the blue it just skyrocketed like never before? The only reason that the border is not secure was Donald Trump. You cannot make this up. This is what Joe Biden said in February of 2024. Look at it now. All lies. We bring the receipts, everybody. And again, there's people that are about to be held accountable like never before. You're seeing it here, guys. And I'm telling you, like, this is where Pam Bondi, I hate it. But again, if she's not doing what she needs to be doing, then she's out of here. And we now know she's in the hot seat to be replaced.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
Institute is taking part in the video urging troops to defy illegal orders. Emphasis on illegal here. The senator is pushing back. Here's his statement. If this is meant to intimidate me and other members of Congress from doing our jobs and holding the administration accountable, it won't work. I've given too much to this country to be silenced by bullies who care more about their own power than protecting the Constitution. Meanwhile, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked about it. Here's what she said.
Let me be very clear. Not a single order this president or administration has given to our military has ever been illegal, nor will it ever be. The sanctity of our military respects and relies on law and order and the chain of command. And that's what this administration is trying to say. And that's why the Department of War opened up this investigation against Senator Mark Kelly today.
Okay, let's figure out what's going on here with former Navy JAG officer Kelly Stimson. Kelly, nice to see you again, and good morning to you. As you understand it, what's happening?
Well, they believe that it's possible that Captain Kelly, retired Captain Kelly, who is subject to the UCMJ under Article 2, committed a crime, and so they're going to investigate that. And regardless of whether that's proves to be true or not, the fact is that this video undermined good order and discipline. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were essentially wink, wink, nod, nod, telling members of the military that they should reflexively doubt the legality of the commander-in-chief's orders. And that's where they crossed the line politically.
Okay, all right, a couple things here. Jack Keane was with us yesterday, and we asked him about that whole thing about chain of command that you mentioned, all right? Here's Jack Keane on that.
These are irresponsible, reckless political leaders, and I normally don't go after political leaders in our country, but they deserve it now. They're absolutely undermining the military chain of command. And who do they think our soldiers are? They're insulting the intelligence of our soldiers and their moral commitment to serve the nation by making these outrageous statements.
Kelly, what do you make of that right there?
Well, the general's correct, as usual. And the fact is that there's one commander-in-chief, and only one. And the proper way to litigate these policy disputes is either, for one, Congress to reclaim their war powers in Article 1, Section 8 and declare war or authorize the use of military force. Therefore, the president has the top authority under the Congress's passing of that type of law, or litigate these issues, which are happening in states where people are calling up National Guards. And so imagine, Bill, the scenario where Republican members of Congress would have issued the same type of warning to members of the military when we sent 25,000 troops to Haiti under President Clinton, saying you should reflexively question that, when Congress didn't authorize that authorization. And there's scores of other issues in times in our history when the president sends troops into harm's way and Congress didn't authorize it. So this is the wrong way to go about this.
Okay, I think here's the critical soundbite. We played it.
Let me tell you this, everybody. This is honestly one of the last things that we're hearing, that Pam Bondi better get something with these seditious six. Because right now she's in the hot seat to be replaced. And now I'm seeing in some parts, I'm still vetting it out, but sources are showing that if they cannot convict or go after one of these seditious six people that came out and said this stuff, she's gone. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, I'm like to the point now where how in the world can sitting senators come out and defy these if they are illegal orders? How do you even know? Who determines that? When you're given orders, you do what you're told. You report to your superior. Susie Wiles is also in the hot seat as being replaced in the next month. People ain't getting stuff done. We're not moving fast enough. We have to win what's coming up in the midterms so bad, because if not, Trump is going to get impeached. We could bet money on that.
Yesterday, here is Alyssa Slotkin when she was asked about it on ABC on Sunday. Keep in mind the key word here is illegal. Roll this.
Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes and everything related to Venezuela.
Okay, so you can address that, Kelly. And while you do that, if you were to investigate Senator Kelly now, it would have to go back to his time as active duty in the military, correct?
No. No.
Okay, then what would that be?
You can recall somebody who's retired, receiving retirement pay. I'm a retired Navy captain, he's a retired Navy captain, and bring them back on active duty and charge them with a crime. And it doesn't have to just be a military crime. It can be any federal or state crime under the Federal Assembly's Crime Act. But the problem is that when we've recalled people to active duty to prosecute them, almost in every instance, it's been for a crime they committed while they were on active duty. Not in this situation where he's a senator giving a speech, not covered by the speech and debate clause because it wasn't a core legislative function. And so I don't think any military jury is ever going to convict this guy ever. So I think the punishment here is the process and ultimately not prosecute him or bring him back on active duty.
Let me try and just squeeze in one more question at the time that we have. There are some who have theorized that Democrats are setting up the commander-in-chief, President Trump, if they were to lose the House in the second half of this term, that they could go after him on something. Have you heard about that? What would fit that possible theory?
Wow.
Well, that he is issuing illegal orders or acting outside the bounds of the four corners of his power as the commander-in-chief. The problem with that theory is that the Office of Legal Counsel in DOJ has already issued a classified memo, for example, saying that the strikes on boats in international water is lawful under the national interest test from previous OLC opinions. So they'd have to point to something other than what the current situation is.
Okay, Cully, thanks.
Let me
Really
tell you
appreciate
this,
your
everybody.
intel on all.
Trump is winning like nobody's business. Listen to this. The economy is beating all the economists. The economists said we'd be in a recession by now. The economists said the tariffs would never work. The economists said that Trump didn't know what he's doing. Listen to this from CNBC.
If we strip out the food and add food and energy in, it becomes up 1/10. That's cooler than expected. Up 1/10 would be the lightest since it was, well, minus 1/10 last month. And if we look at what's going on, adding food, energy, and trade, we also get up 1/10. Final demand on a year-over-year perspective, up 2.7. 2.7 would equal where we were in May. To find a higher number, you're going to March when it was over 3%. If we look at food and energy, stripping those out, it becomes up 2.6, cooler than expected. 0.2 less than the rearview mirror, which was 2.8. If we strip out...
This is from the Rapid Response 47 team. Core wholesale inflation beat economists' expectations again in September. Boom! Trump knows what he's doing. Guys, I love this. I love us winning. And we need to make sure that we have the right people in place across the board. If Pam Bondi needs to go, she needs to go. I'm just sick and tired of not seeing the arrest. There's too much that should have happened. I feel like in terms of lawfare, by now with people that use lawfare against Trump, they didn't waste any time going after Trump. Why is it so hard for us to do it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. If you're watching and not a part of the family yet, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button so we can take care of you every single day with the breaking news. And don't forget, right now is open enrollment time with Medicare. Guys, this is one of the biggest blessings ever because this calling chapter, getting their help is a free service. We've literally had people save thousands of dollars that are members on this channel. We've literally had people that have gotten over $1,000 in additional benefits. Like, what a blessing. And to me, this is what matters, is helping you out. Make sure you're taken care of, especially our seniors on Medicare. The number is 667-895-3015. The number's in the description as well as at the bottom of the screen. I promise you, if you call them, you'll be blessed. We just want to make sure that we are serving you. They're the only sponsor that we have. And remember, I've been asked by a lot of people to do all kinds of sponsorships, and I said no. When I found out them, and it's free, and it helps you save money, especially our seniors, I said, why not? Your family members could call if they're on Medicare. Give them the number, and they'll be blessed. 667-895-3015. I want to give some special love to those that have given today. Remember, on the 22nd of every single month, this guy right here is donating live on stream to a local charity. We just got Thanksgiving donations done, and next month will be for Christmas. We're giving to a local children's home, and we want to make these kids' Christmas the best, and I thank you so much for partnering with us and helping us give. Madeline West, welcome to the family. Thank you so much. Our boy PDX67 Richard with the super chat and gifted membership. Show him some love in the chat, everybody. Digging in with Don, thank you so much for your support. Milton Burns, Nelson Feliciano, our boy Jim Barbato with the super chat. Let's go, brother. OG of the channel, as well as moderator B1 Sly One. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. Kathy Brewer, OG of the channel. Thank Kathy so much. Don Sturgis, and thank you so much, Kyle Suter. Welcome to the family. And San W, welcome to the family. Everybody, show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much for sharing our videos on X and Facebook. We try to read as much comments as possible, but it means so much when you support us, like our videos. We're here to bring the truth, bring the receipts, and serve you. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.